Well, hello all my YouTube friends. Welcome back, or if you are joining us for the first time, hi, my name is T and this is my YouTube channel, Crumpus Tea and Sewing. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you two pattern reviews of Butterick patterns that I just recently made for my latest Mart fabric blog post. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the Butterick B6749 and the Butterick B6814. So these are both patterns that I made with this beautiful fabric that I'm wearing right now, which I am going to tell you about. So let me go ahead and first start with the fabric that I use for this project, and it's this beautiful off-white and black and gray floral fabric. It's a rayon challis. It has quite a bit of drape. It's sewed up really nicely. I was really surprised that I didn't see much fraying with this particular piece. I did use my serger because it did fray some, but it wasn't a lot, and so I was really pleased with this fabric, and I really love the way that this fabric sewed up. And I'm going to share my experience about the patterns that I use for this particular fabric. All right, so let's start with the Butterick B6749. So this is a pattern with 4 different skirts within one envelope. It features 2 different size ranges, so you can get the extra small to medium and then the large to 2XL. I selected the first envelope, which is the extra small to the medium, because the bottom half of my body is in that size range. So I selected a medium for this particular pattern, and I believe the measurements for that is about a 32 for the waist, or 31, 32 for the waist. This pattern has 7 pieces. It's very easy, and it's for your beginners and your advanced beginners. And the fabric suggestions are gauze, georgette, voile, and jersey type fabrics. Like I said, selected this beautiful rayon fabric, which was quite suitable for this particular pattern. Now, this particular pattern, like I said, it has 4 different variations. So you have view A, which is kind of like a midi length skirt. View B is a maxi length skirt. And view C and D, you have the option to put tiers on your skirt. And I believe view C has, so both views have 2 tiers, but I think it's the length variation. It's what they're showing here on the illustration. This pattern also features pockets, which I really love. So I chose view D, and it has 2 tiers on the skirt. Now, I will say this about the skirt: although it's very easy and it sews up really well, I was a little disappointed by the illustration here, because the illustration shows this as being a gathered skirt. It is not gathered. You are doing some gathering on those tiers so that you can put them on to the skirt. However, you're not going to see any gathers in your skirt when it's all finished. The gathers that you're actually putting in those tier pieces, they are actually just so that you can gather just a little bit of fabric. It's more like easing the fabric in so that you can attach it to your pieces. However, they lay flat, so there are no gathers. And if I were paying close enough attention to the model on the front cover here, I would have seen that she has view D here, and there are no gathers. So this would be a really great pattern for like color blocking. But if you are thinking about or you are wanting a skirt with gathers, this is not your pattern. This is definitely not the pattern. Like I said, those pieces would be better for like color blocking or print matching or something like that. But for gathers, you're not going to see any gathers in your skirt. Now, what I like about having those tiers on this skirt, it does offer for the skirt to be a little bit more full and more flowy. And so if you're looking for that, then that would definitely be it will be suitable to work with that. But if you're looking for gathers, this is not your pattern. The last thing I want to say about this particular pattern is that it has an elasticated waistband, so it's fully elasticated in the front and the back. However, you'll notice in my pictures I have a flat front waistband, and that's usually what I go with my patterns. If I have a skirt that calls for elastic, I like to put that flat front waistband on the front. And I just used the New Look pattern. I can't remember the number. I'll put the picture here. But I just used that particular waistband out of that pattern so that I can get the look that I want. I will say this though, because this pattern, you are gathering quite a bit of fabric up at the waistline, and you do see those gathers. So you are gathering quite a bit of fabric. Just make sure that the fabric that you're gathering and the fabric on your waistband, or I should say the measurements on your waistband, will actually be suitable for the size that you choose, because obviously if you're doing a flat front waistband, you need to account for that. But yeah, so that's basically what I did for the skirt part of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch gears and talk about the top. So for the top, I chose the Butterick B6814. This particular pattern comes in 2 different size ranges, and you do have your plus sizes, which is a plus. So for the first range of sizes, you can select from the size, let's see here, the size 8 to 16. And then for the second set of sizes, it's 18W to 24W. Now, I do have one thing that I did not like about this pattern, and that is the sleeve pattern. So I felt like for the sleeve pattern, that especially for the 18W, that they should have included a larger size range, just simply because it is a plus size. However, the size 16 pattern and the size 18W with the sleeve pattern is almost equivalent to one another. So it's not that much of a difference. And so I felt like, you know, when you have that big of a gap, you know, you're going from 16 to 18W, that that sleeve pattern should signify that, and it did not. It didn't show that, and so I was really disappointed by that. However, I love the pattern overall. So that's the only drawback to the pattern, is that it just does not have a good size range for that 18W in my case anyway, because I am a plus size person, so I was looking for a plus size sleeve, and I don't feel like it's very plus size for the sleeve in my case. So anyway, the first garment that I made was with this rayon crinkle challis fabric from Joann Fabrics. It's a piece that I had in my stash. It's a navy blue print. It's a navy blue fabric with floral print on the fabric, and like I said, it was just a remnant piece, and I think I had like 1.5 yards or something like that of this piece. So I was only able to make the front, the back, the sleeve, you know, all the important pieces. I was not able to get the flounce because I didn't have enough fabric to do that. However, I was just trying to test all the major points to make sure that I can actually fit it in the bust, in the arms, in the waist, you know, all those points there. While I did that mock-up, before I even went into the mock-up, I actually made changes to the pattern based on things that I was able to read from the flat pattern. So I did a forward shoulder adjustment. I shortened the garment by 3 inches at the bottom. As you can see on the model, it's supposed to be longer, and so I went back and I added that length back. But I kept the forward shoulder adjustment, and I also kept the bicep adjustment, which I did a 1.5 inch bicep adjustment. And so, like I said, for the biceps, I expected it to be a little bit bigger. Doing a 1.5 inch bicep adjustment is not normal for me. So if I have to do a bicep adjustment, it's between a 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. A 1.5 inch is really big. Sometimes I do a 1 inch depending on the pattern, but 1.5 inches is definitely a large bicep adjustment for me. So that's one of the reasons why I was just so hung up on the pattern, and especially because it's a plus size pattern, I expected it to have a little bit more in range for that. So the pattern features, so you have 3 different tops that you can make. All the versions that are demonstrated on the envelope are featured with a flounce on the neckline, but as you can see, as I have shown you the mock-up, you don't have to put the flounce on. You have a facing in the front and a facing in the back, and so all of that is going to be covered by your facing. You really don't have to put the flounce on if you don't want to. But I decided to do it for my final version because I really like the flounce and I like how playful it is. The pattern also features sleeve variations as well. So you can do, so view A is a straight sleeve that has a flounce on the bottom of the sleeve. It also has darting on the side. And then for this view, for view A, you don't have to put a elastic around your waistline. For view B is featuring that elastic around your waistline. It also has a little longer sleeve, and then you also put elastic around your sleeve as well. But instead of actually making a casing and putting the elastic inside the casing, you're actually sewing the elastic directly onto the wrong side of your sleeve. I decided not to do my sleeve that way. I made a casing and I put my sleeve and I put my elastic inside the casing. So I decided to do it that way. As I stated before, after I finished the mock-up, I went back and I added that length that I took off. So I really like this pattern. It's really nice and I had fun making it. The size that I chose, like I said, is the size 18, and that's a 45 inch for the bust and a 45 inch for the waist. However, if you do the versions that have the elastic inside of the waistline, just be sure you know that you will be gathering some of that in, and so it would no longer be that 45 inches. Your waist would actually probably go down to about a 35 or so. So just keep that in mind if you decide to do the view with the elastic in the waistline. It's not going to be as loose fitting. It's going to actually hug onto the waist, and you're going to actually have a lot of that fabric just brought in. So I really like this pattern. It sewed up really well. I didn't really have to do that many alterations. Like I said, the forward shoulder adjustment and the bicep adjustment are the only things that I had to do. Oh, I also had to move the dart down. I forgot about that. So I had to move the dart down by a 1/2 inch because the dart was too high up on me. So, but other than that, those are the only 3 adjustments that I made to the pattern. That does it for today's video, my friends. Thank you so much for stopping by and tuning in. If you enjoyed yourself, please make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and hitting the notification bell will ensure that you receive notifications of all my videos when I post them. So don't forget to hit the bell. All right, everyone, I hope you all have a happy and blessed sewing week. And until next time, stay creative. Bye.